Welcome, my name is Andreas Patikis and I'm the founder of the Grey Cotswolds, where we offer unique courses and retreats around stress and well-being, anger management, parenting and sports performance for a healthier mind and body. Our venues are set in the beautiful and relaxing Cotswolds countryside with luxurious private dining and facilities. Our specialist team have vast knowledge and experience with beneficial therapies and advice, all in one place, to help with any challenges and empower you for life. Discover a new way of living through our podcasts and prepare to enter a world that is not black and white. Let us accept the colours in between. Welcome to the Grey Cotswolds. Hi everyone, today we're joined by Caroline and we're going to be discovering Qigong. So Caroline, tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, I'm Caroline, as you said, and I'm a Zhineng Qigong teacher. I've been practicing for about 10 years. Before that, I was a crystal healer. Before that, I was in business. And I ruined my health through stress. And I had to find a way of recovering my health. And I went down the allopathic route. I went to my GP who, put me on steroids and inhalers. And I'd end up in hospital every 6 weeks or so. Not being able to breathe. And after a couple of years of this, I realised they were dealing with the symptoms and not the root cause. So I then turned to holistic health. And that's where I found my cure, because I had to adjust my life. I had to reduce my stress. I had to change my diet. I learnt meditation. I learnt about energy healing. And so I was cured within about 3 months.
Wow.
And so that set me off on a sort of Alice in Wonderland kind of journey. And I turned over lots and lots of stones, studying lots and lots of things. And then I came to Qigong. And in Qigong, in Zhineng Qigong, I found the thing that encompassed all the things I'd been researching. And it was very simple to learn, easy to do, and effective. So it's something I'm passionate about and want to get this good information out to as many people as possible.
So it sounds like you've been on quite a journey.
Yeah.
And your experience, you said, your different backgrounds and your past and the issues and the different methods that you tried. And Qigong is something that encompasses a lot of those methods. Tell me more about it.
Well, there are many, many schools of Qigong. In fact, there are hundreds. But the particular school or canon that I trained in is about 35, 40 years old. Other Qigong styles go back 3,000 years. But the difference with Zhineng Qigong, it was developed by an amazing man called Dr. Pang Ming, who studied traditional Chinese medicine. He also came to the West and studied Western medicine. He also studied science and quantum physics. And so he developed a style and a science behind the practice. And the interesting thing to me is that the science now runs along with the latest thinking in quantum physics. And basically, in a nutshell, and to keep it really simple, everything in existence is made of the same stuff, and that's energy. And so in our particular school of Qigong, we use our mind, we develop our mind to open up to the universe, or as he calls it, blue sky. And you draw energy down, which is a cleaner, purer energy running at a higher frequency. And you wash it, you imagine washing it through the body. And in quantum physics, they talk about energy following the mind. So we cultivate our mind to wash clean the body. That's it. There are very simple exercises. They're safe and easy to do. But basically, that's what we're doing. We're opening the body and the mind and washing clean every cell. So it's very, very simple. And so anyone can learn this. It's really effective. And we went to China, because I'm in the middle of making a documentary film about the practice.
Yeah, I saw that. It's very interesting. Tell us about that.
Well, we went to China just before COVID hit. And we travelled the length and breadth, and we started interviewing people who had chronic or life-threatening diseases as we perceive them here in the West. and they turned around their conditions just using Qigong. So in the film, and you've seen the interview, there's a lady there with a 7 centimetre tumour on her neck and a 3 centimetre tumour this side. And she basically had been told to go home and die. And her son brought her to a Qigong clinic. And in 1 month, this tumour had completely disappeared. And this one had reduced to 3 millimetres. And we saw the scan the day she arrived. And we saw a scan taken the morning that we interviewed her. And so we could contrast and compare them.
Yeah.
And so I actually saw it with my own eyes. And we interviewed then 40 people who had similar stories.
Yeah.
So it goes against everything we've been taught to believe in the West, that this is possible.
Well, even for me, I'm very open-minded to hearing different stories of treatments. And like you say, we're very much accustomed to just going to the doctor and, you know, being prescribed something, or being told this is the way it is, and then that's where it ends. And even when I saw that video, it stuck with me, and, you know, for a long time, and it kept me thinking and talking about it, because I'd heard of stories like this, and then you hear them and they're interesting, and then you get on with life because life takes over. But then seeing it again, and that's when I thought, no, you know, let's stop and listen to this stuff.
Yeah, well, the great thing is it's a preventative practice as well as a healing practice. You know, it's both. So, you know, obviously before we get ill, it's much better to have a practice that will prevent illness in the first place. So, you know, my film partner wants to create a medicineless hospital here in the West. Pang Ming opened one in China. They had hundreds of thousands of people go through their doors, and they had an extraordinary success rate in turning around what we consider chronic illnesses. And to open a school and a research centre, because we're going to need something that can run alongside the allopathic system as well. Because the NHS is overwhelmed already, and coming down the line are even more lifestyle illnesses.
And this is something you said anyone can do?
Yeah. I mean, Pang Ming designed this so that the most uneducated farmer in northern China could pick this up. And they don't even have to understand the theory of it. They just practice, and it has its effect. You know, you drive a car, but you don't necessarily know how the engine is working.
So that's how this works as well, yeah?
Yeah, so you drive from A to B, and you make your journey. And the same with the practice. You can practice, and you are actually keeping your body awash with bright, pure qi. And qi is the Chinese word for energy. So, yes, and it's a lovely way of living. You know, you find yourself quieter inside, so that monkey mind isn't, chattering away. You're very still, you're quiet, you're observant, and joyous. You know, life is simple and joyful. It's a lovely way of living.
So people who come in onto the retreat here at the Grey, what can they expect? Will they be learning some of this? What will they get?
Yes, I mean there will be sort of 3 parts as I perceive it. Obviously there'll be an introduction to try and explain it in simple terms, and I'll show the short trailer that I showed you, the film trailer, and then practice, and then the takeaway will be an exercise called La Qi. So the lady with the 7 centimetre tumour, that's all she did. It was a very, very simple exercise, and very effective. And also, a list of resources, of books to read, people to contact, retreats, classes around the country, classes abroad, that kind of thing. So yes, pretty comprehensive, but an introduction.
Yeah.
But the main thing is practice. And the great thing about Qigong is that once you've learnt the simple routines, you take it home. You're not having to rely on any teacher, guru or God. And you have complete sovereignty and control over your own practice. And so it's very powerful.
And that's what we aim to do here, is empower people to be able to look after themselves and to grow and to have that. we could go on forever with this because it's so interesting. 2 questions though before I do let you go, which I ask everyone, is what do you do to relax?
Oh, so many things. It depends, what's going on and what the season is. Sometimes it's just walking out in nature. Other times it's being with my kids. Sometimes it's just cooking, meditation, creative things. It changes. I like to, nothing's ever one thing. I like to savour all that life has to offer.
Change with the seasons.
Yeah.
And the other question, what could people do for their own wellness now? What one thing would you give advice?
Well, the whole premise of Qigong is it is mind over matter. So to strengthen one's own mind, build your capacity to hold a quietness inside. And you can do that in all sorts of ways. I mean, there are many paths up the mountain, many healing modalities out there. It's just to find the thing that will take you to that place. So, yes, prevention is better than cure, and it's mind over matter. Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you and hearing about this Qigong, something I'd heard about and came across, but more to the forefront now, and I hope we can give that awareness to people of what it is and how they can practice it and the benefits of it when they come on to our retreat.
Well, thank you, Andreas.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that's it. So until next time, I'm Andreas Patikis, signing out. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you have any thoughts, feelings or reflections on today's podcast, please leave them on the comments section on our website or social media channels. You can find more episodes and information at www.thegreycotswolds.co.uk. This is Andreas Patikis, your fellow traveller on life's journey, signing off.